Americans. You wouldn't think it would be his business. He's not an American leader. They're not fully on board with sending billions more of 9 million people.
That's a brilliant. The woke right, because these people, they're not any different from the woke left. I mean, they're insane. They're crazy. But they're actually meeting on some of the things. We have to fight back. How do we fight back? Our influencers. I think you should also talk to them if you have a chance. To that community, they're very important. And secondly,
travelers have the confidence of knowing their applications are accurate and error-free.
we're going to have to use the tools of battle. And the most important ones are social media. And the most important purchase that is going on right now is TikTok, number one. And I hope it goes through because it can be consequential. And the other one, what's the other one that's most important? X. That's very good. And, so we have to talk. He's not an enemy. He's a friend. We should talk to him. Now, if we can get those two things, we get a lot. And I could go on other things, but that's not the point right now. We have to fight the fight.
It's almost unbelievable that he said that on camera. Imagine, this is a foreign leader bragging about how he's censoring Americans. Again, this guy runs a country of 9 million people that's totally dependent on our tax dollars to exist. And here he is on camera, and he's a sophisticated guy. Of course, he knows that he's being filmed, saying, anyone who opposes me in the United States, who opposes more aid to Israel or opposes getting sucked into war with Iran, which does not serve American interests, that person is not simply mistaken or wrong. I'm not going to bother to explain why that person is wrong. That person is a Nazi, part of the woke Reich, a Nazi. And the only way to fix it is by preventing Americans in the last country on earth with guaranteed freedom of speech, prevent Americans from hearing the other side. And so we push Congress to force TikTok sale, which is true, by the way. And when that happened, and various members of Congress were like, no, really, it's about China. There were people online who said, no, I think it's really about Israel. You kind of wish it was about China. Here he is just admitting, no, we pushed the U.S. Congress to censor in the United States, to commit censorship in the United States because we think it's bad for us. And we need to talk to Elon. The only reason we have free speech in the United States right now is because of Elon Musk. By the way, a naturalized American, a foreigner, who looked at the United States and said, what's great about that country? People can say what they believe because they're not slaves, they're not subjects of the state, they're citizens of a nation that they own. So free speech is central to the entire idea of America. In fact, it's really the only thing that sets us apart from any other country on earth. It's not our market economy, it's freedom of speech. And here's this guy, a foreign head of state, who, let me restate, is totally dependent on our tax dollars to exist, is saying Americans don't have that right, and he's going to do some kind of secret pressure campaign on Elon Musk to censor X because it bothers Israel. That's the point at which you just say, no, absolutely not. That is not allowed. But since no one has said that, it has continued. And that's why when you go on social media, you see person after person taking that guy's line, repeating foreign government talking points on social media as Americans. Oh, you can't say that. It's true. It's 100% true. And it's also totally counterproductive, by the way. This is not a sophisticated propaganda campaign. This is a brutal and brutish propaganda campaign where anyone who disagrees with anything is immediately slandered and smeared. Megyn Kelly, who's got to be the single most moderate person on the question of Israel, who said 100 times and means it, by the way, I like Israel. I'm not against Israel. But maybe it's not a great idea to get sucked into one of their wars. We've done that. Let's not do it again. Ah, Nazi! Immediately called her an anti-Semite and won't stop. Meanwhile, the actual anti-Semites, and there certainly are some online, never get criticized by Bibi or anyone else in his orbit. That's kind of interesting, isn't it? I wonder why that is. When you have actual anti-Semites, doing videos making fun of Auschwitz, but they get a pass? Maybe things are not quite as they seem. But normal people who harbor no hate toward anyone or try not to are immediately slandered in a way that makes it, in some cases, hard for them to have jobs if they deviate even a little bit. So what the effect of this, not that it's up to me to tell Israel how to run its propaganda campaigns, but the effect, just noticing, is that it turns allies into enemies. You can agree on 98% of things, but if you think maybe it was a bad idea to bomb Doha, Qatar, the site of the largest military base in the Middle East, which exists to protect Israel, if you think it was a bad idea for the Israeli government to bomb Doha, then you're a Nazi? Just in point of fact, by the way, Hamas was originally in Qatar because the Israeli government asked them to accept Hamas. That airbase exists to protect Israel, by the way. That would
All right, so this is the third clip from the forensic interview of Kylie Clapp. This is titled Exhibit 63, Part 3. It's titled, What is Your Name? Now, let's listen to this clip.
What is your name? So, what is your name?
Kylie.
Kylie. How are you spelling Kylie? How do you spell it?
K-I-L-E-Y.
Kylie. Okay. What's your last name?
Clapp.
And is it C-L-A-P-P?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Kylie, how old are you?
15.
15. And your birthday?
November 12th.
November 12th. Okay. And what year would that be?
2007.
2007. Cool. So you're a Scorpio, huh?
Yeah.
Me too. Okay. So November 12th, you got a birthday coming up. That's exciting. What grade are you in?
In 10th.
10th grade. You're almost there. Almost there. And what school do you Does Osborne have an E at the end of it, or is it like, because it's spelled differently in different areas, so.
I don't see it with any.
No E, okay, cool.
All right, we're gonna be releasing part 3 from the forensic interview. Make sure you like the video, share the video, and watch the first 10 minutes of the forensic interview. And make sure you leave me questions. This is a true crime podcast out of Prince William County. We're following the case of Mustafa Al-Jazari, and what you're seeing me do, we're out and about trying to make some money. We're door dashing. So keep an eye for the video that's about to be released. Make sure you like it. Make sure you leave me questions. And make sure you share it on your Facebook. All right, I'll be right back.
So, what is your name?
Morning, you stunning stack of fucking sunshine. Do you fucking...
customer requested you leave the order at their door. They added the following instructions. Leave at my door.
Oh, that's
$6.25 offer. Offer accepted. We'll add it to your route.
What is your name? So, 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 APP? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay.
Yeah, hello?
Thanks, Cheese and McDonald's. How may I help you?
Yeah, I've got a DoorDash for Alex.
Alrighty, second on the hold.
Thank you.
But I also want to
4-piece nugget meal?
I've got DoorDash for Alex. DoorDash for Alex.
This is why blocking spam calls never stops them.
What do you mean? Is that just some random caller?
No. When your phone lights up like that with unknown...
Kent tells Jimmy Dore. Here we go. Isn't he like a comedian? It's like a comedian. It tries that.
Aren't you supposed to be an investigative deputy director of the FBI? You don't like that, but you weren't that. You were a shill. So Joe Kent was on the show last Friday, and he told us that who shut down the investigation he wanted to do into who killed Charlie Kirk and if there was foreign government involvement. Here's what he said. When you say they told you to don't do this because you could be, you mean Kash Patel?
Yeah, so I mean, initially it's the FBI counterterrorism division will just say, hey, you guys no longer have access to the case file. Obviously, I protested, and then Cash said, we're done. Cash said, you guys are done, and so are we. We're handing it all over to the FBI or to the Utah State.
And so, what Joe's job is at the counterterrorism, the National Center for Counterterrorism, what he does is he goes to the FBI and gets all the information that they have gotten in their investigation, and he goes to the CIA, he gets their information, he goes to the NSA, gets their information, he goes to the CID, he goes to all these intelligence organizations, he takes all of it and he tries to synthesize it and see if we could put it together. Hey, is there foreign? That's his job. And the reason why his job was created after 9/11 was because we didn't have anybody doing that before, and that's what they blame 9/11 on. So now that's his job. So he's not. So when he went to the FBI and said, "Hey, I need access to your investigation," there's foreign involvement. Dan Bongino, who is a liar, a shill, and a degenerate, and a paid-off Zionist, is now going to lie to you about what Joe Kent just said. So he saw, someone posted that video I just showed you, and said investigation into foreign involvement in Charlie Kirk's assassination blocked by the FBI. Dan Bongino says, I'm so sorry to have to waste your time addressing this nearly unprecedented stupidity today on my show, but stupid is a choice, and Joe consistently chose stupid. See you in the few hours. So Joe Kent has been shown to be the one guy in the Trump administration that actually has integrity. And he didn't sign up for the wars in the Middle East, especially the Iran one, and he resigned over it, so he's got integrity, unlike Dan Bongino, who screamed about the Epstein files his whole podcast career, and then when he was in a position of power to do something about it, he lied and protected the Epstein class, and then lied to his own audience and lied to everybody, and everyone knows that he's a cuck to Israel, and he's a cuck to the Zionist donors, and he's a liar. Got into be the deputy DI, and his reputation is shattered with anybody who's not also a modest moron who goes along with whatever they're told to by Donald Trump. Okay, so we know that, right? And so he tried to respond to Joe Kent, and listen to this 8th grade schoolyard level analysis and how he's going to try and fool you into thinking that Joe Kent is lying. So let's watch. So we now know what Joe Kent's real job is. Here's what Dan Bongino tries to pretend is Joe is lying about.
I saw this X post this morning, and I thought to myself, how many suckers are going to continue to believe this? This is at USA, yep, John, yep. All caps, of course. And Andy, that means this is really important, of course, all caps. Investigation into foreign involvement in Charlie Kirk's assassination blocked by the FBI. Whoa, all caps too. It's got to be true then, all caps. Kash Patel blocked Joe Kent, former director of counterterrorism, from investigating the foreign leads. Joe Kent, that's really great. Why would the FBI block this? Joe Kent tells Jimmy Dore, here we go. Is he like a comedian? It's like a comedian, right? That
aren't you to be an investigative deputy director of the FBI? You don't like that, but you weren't. You were a shill. Okay, I'm actually a comedian. You can see me at the Comedy Store this Saturday. Okay.
He was at NCTC, Joe, and he was blocked from investigating Charlie Kirk's killing after the FBI said it had everything it needed. The case would be transferred to state authorities. Okay.
And you can see me at the Village Underground in Manhattan on September 13th, the best comedy club in all of New York. And then September 18th and 19th in Rosemont at the Zanies, September 20th downtown Chicago. But let's get back to this.
Folks, I'm going to make this really simple for you. So again, this is that point of the show where we're reaching a truth red line. If you're not interested in the truth, please stop now, because this is good.
Alex, thank you for following the channel. Thank you for being here. And please share this channel on your Facebook. This is a true crime podcast out of Prince William County. We're following the case of Mustafa Al-Jazari. This case is all over NBC4. It's an ongoing case. The county refused to take this guy to trial, and the question is, the county says he's guilty. Why are they refusing to give this man his day in court? Essentially, what he's in a county jail without a trial, 4 years. So this is a sealed case. So it being sealed, you can't get any body cams, you can't get any document. I've got some friends where I got my hand on the file with all the body cams, all the documents, and are actively leaking those body cams on YouTube. And it shows the reason they're not taking him to trial is because they falsified the case. So please follow the channel, share on your Facebook, and leave me questions. Every couple of days we do a podcast. You know, the section where it says videos, so you'll see our podcast there. Please watch the podcast. Please leave me questions and share on your Facebook. Thank you for being here.
Really painful. There's nothing you can.
And as far as am I a liberal, or, you know, I'll tell you, I think we're all waking up to a reality where there's a deep state that controls both Democrat or Republicans. and it's here to divide us and distract us from what they're doing to our country. So I'm waking up to a reality where I refuse to vote because my vote doesn't matter. I don't trust in either of, whether you're a Republican or I don't trust you. I think our election is bottom purchased by a foreign country. And what's the point of voting if the people we vote for are no longer there to, I mean, our voice is no longer heard. So our country is going to shit. My life, your life isn't getting any better. So am I a Democrat or Republican? I don't trust either party anymore. I think both parties are created to divide people and distract you from what's really going on in our country. So I hope that answers your question as far as that is concerned. So I can't read that yet. Once I park, I can read it. But this is what I'm waking up to. I think our foreign policy is no longer our foreign policy. I think the leaders that are getting elected are no longer there they're no longer there for us. They're there to serve a foreign entity. I think we're an occupied nation. I think our country is going to shit. So and they want to keep you distracted. Are you a Republican? Are you a Democrat? Not that that's not important. I'm just saying they're there to divide and distract. I think people need to wake up and realize that the people running into office are not there to build and take care of this country. That's what I think. But what I know. I mean, we can get into the details of why I think that, but that's a different conversation for a different time. You know, when they tell you the government broke it and the government is here to fix it, that's where you have the two parties. You have your Democrats and you have your Republican. The government broke it, but they're here to fix it. What the fuck are we talking about? Don't break it, you don't have to fix it. But yeah, I think they're both there. Both parties are there to divide and distract people. I think you're absolutely right. I'm glad to find somebody who is finally understanding what is happening in this country. Alex, thank you. I mean, a lot of people are waking up to that same exact reality. The media is not telling you the truth. The media is in the government's back pocket. And you know, when you say government, you know, it's not the Republican or the Democrat. It's the individual. It's the entity that gives you the Democrat and the Republican. The media is in their back pocket. They're no longer telling you the truth. So, but people are waking up to that reality, and it's not easy to pull a fast one on people anymore. I mean, every war that we got into, did it make us better? No, it made us weaker. It made our military weaker. It made us as a country weaker. It depleted our resources. And you can go back all the way back to Iraq. Did Iraq make us better? No. Why did we go into Iraq? I think you already know the answer. Okay? Why did we go into Afghanistan? Same bullshit. I mean, they're dragging us into a war. They're talking about another war on behalf of who exactly? not us. And they want to tell you, are you a Democrat or are you a Republican? Wake up. Wake up. But yeah, I'm glad that you understand what I'm talking about. A lot of people are waking up to that reality.
To dispute the fact that 3 + 3 = 6, no matter how hard you try, okay? Joe Kent is continuing to insist he was blocked from doing something he's not authorized to do. I can't think of a simpler example. I just put it.
You know it's the truth when Dan Bongino makes it really simple for you, right? We always.
By the way, if you think this guy, I mean, I like listening to Jimmy Dore. But if you think that Jimmy Dore is not there as a controlled opposition, I mean, I don't know if you already know what that means. If you don't, look it up. What is a controlled opposition? The same entity that's giving you the Democrat and the Republican are now giving you Jimmy Dore, Tucker Carlson, and every individual that's telling you what you want to hear, what you're waking up to. By the way, I love Tucker Carlson. Don't get me wrong. I love Jimmy Dore. Don't get me wrong. Do I agree with everything they say? Absolutely not. Okay? But they're telling me what I'm waking up to. Now, gee, I wonder why. Is it possible that they're given to us by the deep state that give us the Democrat and the Republican? Yeah, it's possible. And that's terrifying because I may be well informed about our foreign policy, our domestic policy, about what we do, but I'm not 100% informed. And when you start trusting these people, there are things that you don't know, and you rely on these people. And then come and find out that these people are working for the deep state. So, and that's where it becomes terrifying. If you don't know that this is a controlled opposition, an individual that's given to you, it's going to be a problem because you start trusting these people, and when you're not that informed, you start taking their opinion on issues and situations that may already came up or may be coming up in the future. And that's why it gets terrifying. So you always have to be careful. I mean, when you're listening to this guy, when you're listening to another person that is telling you what you want to hear. So that's my 2 cents on Jimmy Dore. Don't get me wrong, I love Jimmy Dore. Okay? Well, I'm careful. I'm these people that talk at, and their voice is definitely being heard. Why is their voice being heard more than other people? I mean, the same entity that gave you the Democrat and the Republican controls the internet, but yet these people are going viral with their opinions. I mean, you try starting a podcast. Are you going to be as viral as Tucker Carlson? What, Tucker Carlson has a bigger personality than you do? What, he knows how to talk better than you do? Why is it that when you start a podcast, your podcast is not going to go viral versus Tucker Carlson and Jimmy Dore and all these people that are telling you what you want to hear are going viral? Gee, I wonder if they control the algorithm and they can open the door for your videos to go viral. Oh, do they control the internet? Well, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the internet is controlled by the government. So it's all a bunch of shit. You just have to sift through it. All right, I love everybody. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like the podcast, share it on your Facebook, leave me questions. Thank you for being here.